Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure as the producer of today's show to tell you that this meeting of digital communicators has now begun. Guests, please note that in order to be a member of the club, you must be a current or former active member of Toastmasters International and have completed at least the competent communicator and also 2 paths of pathways. Or you must have substantive, relevant presentation experience that you can demonstrate in a 2 to 3 minute speech delivered during one of our club meetings. All requests for membership are subject to executive board approval. Please message us directly on the Zoom chat if you're interested in this, and we will open up a breakout room at the end of the meeting if you want to speak to somebody about this. If you've not already done so, please change your panel to ensure it shows your name and your role if you have one. Right-click on Unselect, rename to do so. We have members and often guests from many countries throughout the world. Thus, as a professional organization, we ask that you please be aware of language or word uses that may be considered offensive or otherwise insensitive due to cultural differences. Please note that we will be recording the meeting. Your audio and video contribution may be used for club marketing purposes. Also, please mute your microphone when you are not speaking. Today's theme is The Show Must Go On, and please welcome our club president, well, DTM Nick Lakhani, that's me. Now, as club president, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is, in 2 weeks since our first meeting, we have 70 new members. Now we have 22. The bad news is, in 24 hours, we close the book for the charter members and we send our papers in. So if anybody's interested being a charter member, please talk to us today and we can actually get the paperwork done. We'll have a talk to you, as I said, at the end of the meeting. One of the biggest successes about this particular meeting is we run a very tight ship. We start on time, we finish on time, we give you a good show, and we're interested in your feedback. So you can feedback in the Zoom chat, you can feedback by me on WhatsApp or anybody else in the committee that you know, or to the email address that we're going to put in the chat later on. Feel free to give us feedback. And one of the best ways to give us feedback is by saying, yes, we'll see you next time. Today's Toastmaster of the day, sorry, one more thing. The producer of the day, which is myself, actually makes sure that we run the meeting technically and logistically. All the things are going on in the background. So I've got my headphones on and I've got my fingers on the board, make sure things are happening properly and helping our Toastmaster of the day. And I want to introduce him today to you. Please welcome, all the way from Stretford in Manchester, DTM, Julian Cereceda.
The show must go on. It's Monday, it's 6:30 London time, is show time. Welcome to Digital Communicators. Today we have a show, special for your delectation. We have speakers, we have evaluators, we have shotgun evaluations, we have impromptu speakers, and we have many surprises. One of them is a new role we run in this club. You know, all big events have journalists, have reporters. Here we have a reporter as well. Please put your hands together for Pat Casling.
Good evening, everyone. My role this evening is to report on the meeting. So I'll be doing a 2-minute session at the very end, a little video. It'll go on the website, and I will be using the Twitter account to make comments publicly during the meeting. So all good things that you say, nice comments that you make, or great ideas that you want shared, I'm going to try and publicize them as we go along. Enjoy the meeting, and I'll be reporting to you afterwards. I'm Pat Casling for Digital Communicators.
Thank you very much, Pat. But let's not forget, this is a Toastmaster Club, and we need a timer. Please put your hands together for Vincent, all the way from Marbella, Spain.
Hello, good evening. Nice to see you all. I've got 1 minute to tell you about times. We have 3 sections. We have impromptu or table topics, and you've got 1 to 2 minutes to do a very interesting speech. The prepared speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, the shotgun feedback is just maximum of 1 minute. If you go above 2 minutes 30 seconds or 7 minutes 37 minutes 30 seconds in prepared speeches, I will have to turn your microphones off. So basically look at the signs and you will see, because I'm not from Malaga, you will see letters if you're okay. If you will see yellow when you're approaching the end, and you will see ripe tomatoes when your time is up. So pin me so that you will be able to see these different colors. Thank you very much.
Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. I love it. We have as well a grammarian. Please welcome from the sunny and warm Curaçao, Philip Gomez.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. My word today is to motivate. It's a verb, and it means to give someone a reason to do something. For example, in a sentence, she managed to motivate staff to work together after the merger. It could also mean to influence someone's behavior in a particular way. He was motivated by greed. Today, I will be taking on the illustrious role of the grammarian. Taking on this role improves one's vocabulary, grammar, critical thinking, listening skills, and evaluation skills. The grammarian has a duty of writing down any awkward use or misuse of the English language with a note of who erred. It's a dignified description of what some call the grammarian police, because the grammarian's report delivered at the end of the meeting may unintentionally sound like a stern warning or rebuke. I would really appreciate if everyone who speaks uses the word motivate at least once, but as often as possible. I shall be listening to the use of the English language also.
Thank you very much, Philip. I'm motivated because now we are gonna listen to the speakers. We have 3 fantastic speakers, 3 great speakers, 3 award-winning speakers. Let's start with Pamela Benjamin. She's Digital Communicators member, she's triathlete, and she's distinguished Toastmasters. Today, she brings a speech. Did he really do it? Did he really do it? Please put your hands together for Pamela Benjamin.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, friends across the country and across the world. This is our first meeting as digital communicators, and it's a kickoff meeting. I really, really like meeting new people. We've moved a lot since we've been married. We moved to different parts of the United States. For a while, we were overseas. We were in Finland. And when you go to different parts of the United States, or if you do go to different parts of the country or the world, you find that people think differently and do things very differently. One of the unique things they do in Finland is they put tuna fish underneath their cheese pizza. So if you order a cheese pizza, you get tuna fish on top. You don't have to ask for it. That's a unique way that they do things. And you soon learn that you need to ask for it not to be that way. Dear friends, guests, and members, we are meeting new people from around the globe. Some of you are just down the street from each other, so you're not that far. But all of us have new ways, want to work on new ways of thinking and making friends. And when we stretch out, when we meet new friends and new people, we find that we have a lot of new relationships and people that we don't necessarily always think about as the different people in our life. Did he really do that? I want to tell you a story about a little boy I met. This little boy, I call him my Mr. T. Now, why did I call him my Mr. T? Well, let's go back in the story a little bit. My story about wanting to know different people in different places. I really, really like doing that. And I think everyone has a story. Everyone has a unique story. And I really like this quote from Kim Smith, because as we reach out and we meet new people, we find really, really unique people that we've never met, people that we've never even understand why they do certain things, like putting tuna fish underneath the cheese, something you've never thought about. Well, I want to tell you about my Mr. T. I call him Mr. T because he reminded me of Mr. T. Mr. T in America in the 1980s was a movie star. He starred in Rocky in 1983. He was a big, powerful figure. Then he went on to a TV program, The A-Team, and he is a unique, powerful character. Can I say that again? He is a unique, powerful character. But I met my Mr. T when his mother called me for a tutoring job. I had started tutoring about 5 years ago, and I specifically put an ad in the paper to do math tutoring. And my Mr. T didn't look big and powerful like this. He looked tiny. He looked really, really tiny and skinny. This is not my Mr. T, but he was a rascal. But inside of my Mr. T was the most powerful human being that you can ever imagine. He was intense. Not only was he intense, but he really was bright. He learned things at an incredible pace. I had started tutoring him right after in May of his kindergarten year. We started working on addition, multiplication, division. We started getting, by the time Thanksgiving came, which is the last weekend in November, he was into long division. Now, if you haven't really worked in education, worked with children, that is just an incredible leap. But on the other side of my powerful Mr. T was a scrawny little boy. I mean, the tiniest little boy you can imagine. My Mr. T didn't like to eat, even though he was a big, powerful, imposing figure. And when he learned something new, he would get up and dance. He would dance and dance and dance. So this became part of our ritual. Once he mastered either the 9s, the 10s, or the 12s, he would get up and dance. But not in the living room floor. He would dance on the dining room table. He was a very unique figure. So that's why I call him my Mr. T. But one day, my Mr. T had had enough. He said, no more. This 5-year-old said to me, Ms. Pam, it's time to go. He walked over, opened the door, and said, it's time to go. Thank you for coming. We don't need any more of your services. Goodbye. In the most polite tone and proper etiquette that you've ever imagined. I sat on the chair absolutely speechless. How could this tiny little human being be so incredibly powerful? His brain, his personality, and it just absolutely left me speechless when I had times with him. I went on to tutor him for about 6 months. We both needed a break after that high-powered 6 months that we had. but I've always remembered him. I've always remembered how passionate he was about learning, how passionate he was about so many things in life. And what I really like most about him is that he taught me something. He taught me that sometimes the most important trip you take in life is meeting people halfway. He taught me that I needed to bend a little bit to see perspectives from the way he saw them, that he learned in such a unique and incredible way. He went on to first grade, and he also had a hard time staying in the chair. So it wasn't only for me, but all through first and second grade. And he is a remarkable student. He was the first student that I had ever had. And I'll always remember him for the times that he really helped me grow as a person and stretched me. Not only that, but he really became an incredible student in what he did after that. So thank you very much.
Fantastic, fantastic. Please, a round of applause for Pamela. Now, our second speaker is an award-winning speaker coming all the way from Madrid, José Manuel Torné, with the speech title, Body Language is Effective Online. With the speech title, Body Language is Effective Online, José Manuel Torné.
When attending to a conference online or in presence, have you ever realized that you pay more attention to the body language than to the words? Even more, a research by the psychologist Amy Cuddy concludes that our brain gives 12.5 more weight to our gestures than to our message. Then, under the current situation, when we have to attend many meetings online and conferences, our ability to communicate, our ability to motivate must be reducing, or at least our body language. No. And to understand it, we just have to follow the Vanessa Van Edwards concept for communication, identifying it as infection. Online, we do not infect the COVID, but we are as contagious for our message as we are in presence. Let's see. We first communicate with our body language. Imagine I stand up in the middle of a main road in London, Montreal, Madrid, wherever, looking at the roofs like that. It won't be long without gathering a group of people around me looking at the same direction. You see, just with my body, I would have been able to motivate, to infect a message to several people. Even somebody may ask, is he jumping off? Well, we motivate with our body, but when you are in front of a webcam, your face comes closer, and then your facial gestures, microexpressions, as per the Dr. Paul Ekman, are more visible. Fear, sadness, disgust, all these feelings are very close to the camera and identifiable. You have to be authentic because face doesn't lie. And to be authentic is simple. You just have to believe your message, dress up with it, like the actors get into their characters. The second way to communicate is words. University of Oregon conducted a study trying to find out how words trigger the dopamine. And they found that routine conversations like asking about the weather or how are you, where are you from, flow on autopilot. They do not trigger dopamine at all. Instead, if you ask about any interesting project in which we know the person we are talking to is involved, you will make him to evoke good memories. Then your conversation will be more effective and you will be more memorable. The same happens with your voice. How many of you warm up your voice before starting a speech? Not only actors and singers have to warm up the voice. The voice is one of the most powerful tools of seduction that we have to motivate. Volume, timbre, and tone are characteristics that, well combined, make your message different and very effective. Finally, there is the emotion. Of course, the voice brings a lot of emotion, but see, the same university I have mentioned created 3 groups of students and asked them to sing as in tune as possible. They were measuring their their accuracy with a special software. But they added a message for the second group and for the third group. The second group, before starting, should say out loud, "I'm nervous." And the third group had to yell, "I'm excited." And you guess the result? Those in the first group, they got accuracy, a 69% accuracy. The second group, the nervous one, got a 52%. And do you guess the accuracy for the third group? Those who were excited, 82%. So it's simple. You well light your area, look for your surrounding and have a good frame, and follow these 4 tips. Believe your message and practice it. Second, use your hands and your face expressions. Third, flip your message into positive. And 4, take care of your voice. I leave up to you hearing before starting your speech a motivating song like "I Will Survive" or any other similar. And of course, shout out loud, "The show must go on." Thank you.
The show must go on. Please, a round of applause for Jose Manuel. Our third speaker is another award-winning speaker coming all the way from Scotland. We have Kyle Mortag with The Ultimate Decision, with the speech title The Ultimate Decision. Kyle Mortag.
As a dyslexic, I have to say, the irony of how this word is spelled is ridiculous. Please tell me, what's that X doing there? Toastmasters, friends, and anyone who's ever faced a disadvantage. Dyslexia is now considered a disability. If you're dyslexic, you struggle with your writing, and you even struggle with your reading. But if something in your life seems like a disadvantage, you can turn it into your greatest advantage. For starters, do you know what happens when 3 dyslexics go on a road trip? One day, me and my friends, Nairn and Davy, took a day trip to the Scottish city of Dundee. Now, the journey typically takes an hour, but it took us a little bit longer. It took us 5 days. You see, instead of leaving on the Tuesday, we left on the Thursday. Why? Because Nairn misread my text messages. Then, instead of putting Dundee in the GPS, I put Dumfries, a town 150 miles in the wrong direction. Finally, instead of putting petrol in our petrol car, Davy put diesel in our petrol car. And the car didn't like it, but the mechanic did. When we paid him the big fat bill, seeing we left 2 days late, went to the other side of Scotland and had to change our car's engine, 5 days is not that bad. In fact, we laugh about it to this day. But dyslexia has a darker side, where you struggle with what others find simple. My high school teacher, Miss Duncan, would always encourage us to read a book to the whole class. And one day after everyone had read well, guess who she called upon? Now, just imagine facing your biggest struggle with an audience watching. Gripping the book for dear life, I mumbled, I stumbled, misread, then raised my hand and said, Miss Duncan, I can't. After class, I overheard some classmates say, Kyle is so stupid. Have you ever let your differences make you feel inferior? I have. And it held me back for years, affecting my grades, my motivation, and my self-confidence. But in my final year, I remember sitting in my bedroom, searching online to answers for my struggles, until I heard a voice through a screen, just like you're hearing mine. It was the voice of the legendary motivational speaker, Les Brown. Labeled as mentally disabled in school, he was told he was destined for failure. But Les didn't let that difference hold him back. No, he used it to propel him forward. You see, Les said something that pierced my soul. He said, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Whoa. You know, I was told that my disability was a disadvantage. Yet those labeled as disabled are often the ones who change the world. Think of Maya Angelou, one of the most influential writers of our time. Did you know when she was a child, she didn't speak for 5 years? But it was in that silence and struggle that she found her love for writing. She didn't let her difference hold her back. No, she used it to propel her forward. Take even my friends from the road trip. Nairn, the guy who misread my messages, has become a master at reading musical notes. He now performs at Scotland's biggest music festivals. Davy has become a senior manager for, and get this, Shell Oil. That's right, apparently the guy who got petrol and diesel mixed up was promoted for his decision-making skills. And me? Well, I couldn't read a book to a small class. Yet today, I can speak to you with confidence because much like Les Brown, I decided not to let my difference hold me back. No, I used my struggles as fuel to propel me forward. And that's the ultimate decision you have to make. Will you let your difference hold you back or propel you forward? Remember, your difference might seem like a disadvantage, but you can turn it into your greatest advantage. Ultimately, you decide. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you much, Kyle. Ladies and gentlemen, exceptionally on this speaker, we are going to put a link on the chat. Please go there and write some feedback. This young lad is trying to compete on the incoming international speech contest. I will appreciate all your comments. However, if you have a speaker that you really like, at the end of the meeting, we are going to do breakout rooms, and you can go and speak with them and give them verbal feedback or ask as many questions as you want. So if you are writing on the chat, that's fantastic. I'm taking it a bit easy now, but Mr. Timer, would you mind sharing with us the times of the speakers?
I don't mind at all. Everything perfectly under control. Pamela, absolutely 10 out of 10. 7 minutes on the second. Jose Manuel, 6 minutes and 13 seconds. And Kyle, 7 minutes and 8 seconds. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Last meeting, we had a poll to see who was the best speaker. This meeting, we decide that we are not going to have polls to see who are the best speakers. We will have polls about other things, but that's coming up later. Attention, attention, attention. On your feet, on your toes, on alert. Next is table topics and shotgun evaluations. What is that? You will find out with our topics master, Ola. Please, a round of applause.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It is a great honor to be your table topic master for the night. And the segment is going to be in two folds. Table topic, where you're expected to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And the shotgun evaluations, you're expected to speak for just 1 minute. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would definitely want to implore you to be attentive all through, because trust me, I could call on any smiling face I see. So the procedures is very easy. I'll be sharing my screen. I'll call the first person I want to give the question. I'll share my screen. Then she'll proceed to make a decision. So the first person on my list is Pei from Manchester.
Hello. I'm here.
So right to it straight away. So can you see my screen, Pei?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So let's go. Thumbs up or down?
Let's go for thumbs down.
Down. Good. I like that, your creativity. So let's go for the question. The question is, what is the worst show you've been to? Tell us about the experience. What is the worst show you've been to? Tell us about the experience. Over to you now.
Okay, thank you very much, Table Topic Master Ola. And this is such a creative way because you've got 50-50 chance of putting an X in your feet or succeeding in the topic. I'd like to call out to Jose to begin with my table topic. I'm excited. Thinking about a show that is pretty bad I went on to. It probably would be something related to a very odd experience. So for instance, one of those shows that I vaguely remember when I was studying in uni was being invited to see a production done by the theater production of the literature students. And I don't think it's that bad, but the problem was at that time, I have a massive language gap with what they're actually saying on stage. So it made me kind of not able to be able to catch up with what the plot is going. So I lost track of the plot very quickly. I've had a very bad habit, I suppose, when I'm learning my English, watching the TV series, which is usually is putting the subtitle on, and that kind of impedes one to not rely on the subtitle. So that's one thing I'm still overcoming. Sorry, back to you, Tabletop Master, and that was a experience I had to share. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great feedback given. And as I've said, the timer has the power to mute at exactly when you're out of time. So the first evaluator, shotgun, goes to Andrew Bennett for 1 minute, please. Evaluate pay speech. Andrew Bennett, over to you.
Thank you, Topics Master Ola. Pei comes to us and straight away she launches into her story 50-50 and she's excited to be answering this table topic. It's nice to hear enthusiasm about the actual question itself. I would like to encourage Pei this evening to the fact that she does have time to reflect and find her thoughts. Also to just occasionally take a breath so that we cover up those ums and ahs. Our second language English speakers do a great job and I'm very appreciative of them. So I want to encourage her to just expand on vocabulary, enjoy the moment a lot more and make sure she's keeping contact with us through the lens. But overwhelmingly very pleased with Pei tonight and she made a great job of her topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our first evaluator. Then my next speaker is going to be John Williams. Are you ready, John Williams? John Williams, can you confirm? Are you there?
I am here.
Great. So look at these colors and look at these numbers. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So just pick one of the colors or one of the numbers.
I shall pick a number. I'll pick the red color.
Red, that's number 4. So your question is, in 2 minutes, tell us what comes to your mind when you think about the color which you've just picked. So to help you, the color you pick is just red. In 2 minutes, tell us what comes to your mind when you think about the color you just picked. Your time starts now.
Well, the color red assembles many thoughts in my mind. First of all, the reason why I like the color red is that my favorite and the best football team in the world, and I'll show you here as we sit, Liverpool Football Club, thank you, they play in red. So that's one of the reasons why I am so motivated on the color red. Another reason why I like red is that it comes in different shades. So this is my jumper here, as you can see, is a burgundy, which is a different shade of red. It has a bit of brown mixed in, so it comes out in this burgundy color. And it suits and matches my eyes, my complexion, and I always get told when I wear this jumper that it suits me. So it gives me a nice thrill when I wear the color red. The other reason why I like the color red is that sometimes people's emotions are described as they've seen red. One such person that saw red a lot in his lifetime is a friend of mine that you all know. Pamela Benjamin mentioned Mr. T. Do you remember in her speech she mentioned Mr. T? Now, I don't know if you all know, Mr. T is a friend of mine and is here with me today. Do you want me to ask him to say hello? Just nod your head. Okay, Mr. T, introduce yourself, please.
First name, Mr. Middle name, period. Last name, T.
Thank you, Mr. T. Mr. T, he always saw red when he was in the A team. And he, hello, Mr. T, are you still there? Yeah.
Quit your jibber jabber.
Sorry, he has asked me to shut up and asked me to go. And I can see the colour red in the tomatoes. So it's time for me to go. Thank you all.
Wow, thank you so much. Great one. Good shot. Nice.
Good job.
Seems we are all still in the mood. Shotgun evaluation. And the next person for my evaluation is Dana Graham. 1 minute. Can you kindly evaluate John's speech, please? Dan Graham, you there?
I am here, and I pity the fool. Color of red. Forever doubting that Mr. John Williams could not stand and deliver with the beautiful color of red. I want to thank you for that innovative way of linking the different speakers together. It was very creative, and I admire that. In the beginning, I noticed there was some mix up with the different colors in the numbers and the question at hand. So just keep being direct and clear and continue on with your creativity and go 18, go. I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. And the next person for my question is Olga. Olga, are you there?
Yeah, here I am.
Great. Are you ready for me?
Yeah, I am.
Good. For or against?
Oh,
The choice is yours.
okay, let's go for 4.
Good. For your question is, you ready? There we go.
Yeah.
In 1 to 2 minutes, share your thoughts for the topic. Customer is always right, and why? Customer is always right, and why? Starts now.
Thank you very much for that question. I really like that question because I work with customers. And why do they have always the reason? Because they pay. That reason is money. That's all. The money moves the world. This is the basic reason why the customers are always right. Let me explain you something. I work as a tour guide here in Barcelona. And sometimes I have clients that they ask me any kind of things. And I say, yeah, you are right. For instance, let me explain you a story. One day I went with a customer to visit a museum. That museum is underground the city because it's where you can find the archaeological remains of the Roman city, Barcelona. So those are archaeological rooms. So you basically find fragments of a house, right? So the customer asks me at the moment, but is anybody living here? Well, they lived. Yeah, 2,000 years ago. You are right, madam, you are right. And she was very happy because she was right, she was literate, and she was cultured. So my advice, if you have customers, always they are right. Find a way to make them feel that they are right.
Thank you so much. That was great. And shotgun evaluation. 1 minute. Chris, DCM Chris, can you please evaluate for 1 minute, please?
I think Chris Anishi may have vacated the room.
Ted, is Ted there for me, please?
Yes, Mr. Topics Master, Ted is here.
Great, just evaluate us, our speaker, please.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that speech. What a table topic. And I would have to agree with Olga that the customer is always right. But I love the story that she gave us of bringing the customer down to the archaeological aftermath of the Roman Empire. And when the customer said, does anybody live here? To be able to reflect back and use your head and say, oh yes, 2,000 years ago. They lived here. That was superb. And then, of course, Alge, you could have gone on and said, they lived down here 2,000 years ago, but this beautiful city of Barcelona has been built on top of those ruins. So that influence is still there with us. Well done, Alge. I enjoyed that. That was a great response to a difficult topic.
Thank you so much. So the next person on my list is Brahma Creamer. Are you there, please?
Yes, I am.
Great. Are you ready?
Yes.
Your question, blue pill or red pill?
Blue.
Blue. Let's go for it. So,
Hello.
blue pill, the blue pill takes you back to 2020. What will you do? Blue pill takes you back to 2020. What will you do? Over to you.
Thank you. I think the first thing I would do with a blue pill is take a whole bottle of them, because 2020 turned out to be a year that I didn't particularly want to live through. And I think 2020 has been a pretty terrible year for most people around the world. So assuming that a blue pill would be one that would allow me to go to sleep, I'd like to sleep for the whole year. I think a blue pill would also be good insofar as it could give me perhaps a better sense of humor. And what we all needed to get through 2020 was a sense of humor. We live with this terrible virus. We haven't been able to be with other people, go out to restaurants. I miss my famous Montreal smoked meat sandwiches. And I've had to live without these things. And in order to cope and get through life, we all need a sense of humor. And I think perhaps a blue pill would also help.
I believe we've lost some sound there, Brian. Okay, we cannot hear you.
Where did you lose me?
Okay, right, you're back now.
Yeah.
About 30 seconds ago.
Oh, okay. Did I talk about relaxing, taking life easy, my Montreal smoked meat sandwich?
Well, you have now.
Okay, well, I think we all need to calm down and take life a little bit more easy. And I think 2020 was the perfect year to take a blue pill and not take life too seriously. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. So, shotgun evaluation. I'll be calling the next person, DTM Mario Chabel. Please evaluate. You there, DTM Mario Chabel? You there, please?
Yes, I'm here, Table Topics Master. Thank you for calling on me. I'm so grateful to be here. That was an outstanding response. I really loved it. At first, when I heard him talking about taking all of the pills, it was really amazing. That whole thought process that he had going back in time. And so I thought that he did a wonderful job explaining why he would do what he would do and what he would do with those pills. And so I give him a really good thumbs up for his response. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much for that great evaluation. And the next person on my list is Rushan Khan, all the way from Qatar. You there? Rushan Khan, all the way from Qatar.
Is that Rukhsana?
Yes, Rukhsana.
Yeah,
all the way
sorry.
from Qatar.
I'm here.
Right. Are you ready for the next question?
I am, Ola.
So let's go for it. Point of view, just your own point of view. Freedom of expression. Are you ready for the question?
I am, but I need to pin the timer, I think.
Don't worry. Just 2 minutes. Get used to this experience. So let's go. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
The question. Speak about COVID-19 vaccine. Negative or positive social impact and why. So it's your own point of view. Pick either negative or positive, the societal impact, but tell us why. So are you ready? Over to you now.
Friends, and fellow Toastmasters. We know that now we have an option to get a shot that they say will protect us against COVID-19. Do you believe what they say? I don't. You see, who can be certain that this vaccine will protect you from every strain, mutant or non-mutant, of this disease, this illness? I don't think we can say it will protect us for 100%. And what's more, what about the people who won't be able to get the vaccine? Maybe they have no access to proper medical care. I think it's more important for us to increase our awareness of how disease is spread rather than relying on that easy snap solution that we think will be the answer to all our prayers. So for me, I don't think the COVID vaccine is the solution for everybody. For some people, yes, but maybe for most people, no. For society to stay healthy and well, we need to increase our awareness about how to prevent the disease and how to take easier, more accessible ways to fight these diseases, like wearing a mask, like social distancing, like washing our hands. Because vaccines, they'll come and go, they may not be available all the time. So COVID vaccine, I'm not taking it. Are you, Mr. Table Topics Master?
Great one. As I said, it is our own opinion and freedom of expression. So, shotgun evaluation, the next person I'm going to call for the evaluation. Adriana Annette, please. You there? Yes, he is.
Yes, I am.
1 minute evaluation. Thank you.
Rukshan, that was a great topic. You didn't really answer the question, but I like the way you decided to go your own way with this one. We're supposed to talk on societal impact. Now, to be fair, a vaccine does have a big societal impact. And I think you talked about societal impact in relation to wearing masks and social distancing, which is very important, positive or negative. You may not have got the positive or negative aspects of the virus, but I think you answered in a clever way. You steered us in your own direction you wish to go, which is very clever indeed. May not agree with what you're saying. That's beside the point. That's neither here nor there, but it was an excellent answer to a very interesting topic. Well done. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests, I believe you've had a great chance to enjoy our table topic segment and different evaluation. At this point, based on we've very been strict with time management, I'm going to put an end to this table topic session and hand over back to the Toastmaster of the day, his humble self, Toast DTM, Julian Tintoretta. Thank you.
Give him a round of applause. Well done, Ola. Now, Mr. Timer, can you tell us the time report for the table topics and the shotgun evaluation?
Yes, I can tell you, everybody has been inside the time frame. I didn't have to mute anybody, which is wonderful. I will post the times in our chat. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. This man knows that time is money. So let's dive into the serious part of the meeting. And that's not other than evaluations. We bring really good evaluators, hoping that they are going to dissect the speeches and they are going to give feedback to our speakers that they can take and improve their speeches. Our first evaluator is coming all the way from Nigeria with a beautiful smile. Please put your hands together for OG.
Pamela, you did an amazing job, I tell you. The 6 most powerful words in any language are, let me tell you a story. And you kept us enthralled with your storytelling skills. You got us hooked right from the start. You told us a story about the big Mr. T, and your Mr. T, the small one, who is small, powerful, but intense. And that was really motivating to hear about his dance moves upon accomplishment. You talked about tuna fish, and you got us really going, imagining things. You picked our imagination. You talked about, yeah, the fish and the dances and all the things that happened in your stories. We were thinking, and then you used visuals and we were thinking even more. You navigated the visuals during your speech. And I thought that was just an art to talk and to guide us through. It was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed every bit of your speech. You may want to work on your presence though. You gave us your beautiful side and we're so happy to see it. But next time would like to see all of you in the frame facing us, because at some point I thought maybe you wanted to display something at the other side of the screen, and that's why you gave us the side. You asked me to look out for flow and humor. Yes, it was beautiful flow, but because your project is knowing your sense of humor, I was looking for humor. Perhaps you could have juxtaposed in the beginning the big Mr. T and say, look who was looking forward to meeting, and guess who I found? And now this was my face, when something to make us laugh and giggle and get the humor right early. Overall, amazing speech, beautiful visuals, perfect storytelling. You took us along your journey, imagining things, and would love to hear from you again, Pamela. You did a great job with this speech. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us.
Winter is coming was a famous catchphrase in a TV show. All right, winter is here. From Winterland, Canada, Brian Creamer evaluating Jose Manuel.
Thank you, Julian. Jose, terrific job. I heard you say in our breakout group that you had some trepidations about speaking in English. You needn't have. If anyone wants to go back and remember what it's like to feel those butterflies in your stomach, try giving a speech in your second or third language. So kudos off the top. You grabbed us with a question, Jose. Have you ever noticed? And then you used a lot of interesting data. I wasn't aware that body gestures speak 12.5 times more than words. I was watching your hand gestures, and I love the way you used your hands very intentionally when you were speaking. I noticed your eye contact was terrific. You were looking at us straight into the camera. I felt from you a smile and a sincerity, and I think that's very, very important when we speak, to be genuine. You had almost a fatherly presence and a professorial presence there that I thought worked great. I was watching your pace as well. You didn't speak too fast. You were able to use pauses. You even incorporated the word motivate into your speech a couple of times, and the organization of your speech. You spoke about body, words, voice, and motion. Couple of suggestions for you. I thought your title was a tad administrative. Perhaps it could have been jazzed up just a bit. Let your body zoom too. And occasionally you had a little bit of trouble with one or two words. Perhaps you might ask an English friend just to help you with those in the future. And I felt that you were getting a bit of diminishing returns with the more data that you used. But a terrific speech, real, sincere, relevant, well-researched, and well-presented. Congratulations.
Fantastic, thank you much, Brian. From the cold land of Canada, we go to the sunny, warm, and delicious land of Mauritius. Please, our third speaker evaluator is Christian.
Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate decision. I don't know about you, but Kyle, thank you so much for sharing that message with me. I know now that I need to turn my biggest disadvantage into my biggest advantage. That was the message. Kyle, as you started, you did a few things very well. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to focus on what we can do to improve this speech so that it becomes a world-class message. The stories that you shared, I heard in the flow a first personal story, and I could see the moments where you were describing. You were very physical. I saw the hand gestures, you moving back and forth, and even having the prop before you went into your body at the intro. Then you had the moment where you shared the first moment of disadvantage, and then you move into a second personal story. And then you had the aha moment with Les Brown, and then Maya Angelou. It all is flowing, and it's a good speech. Now, to make it world-class, I have the following recommendations for you. Number one is, I felt it. I was there with you, but in a series where you're between world performers, you want to have flow. Flow comes with the following: the order of the story, namely, which stories do I keep? So from my perspective, the Les Brown story, I wouldn't use it because it's just too overused right now. I've heard it too many times. I would just drop it. The Maya Angelou moment, that was fantastic because I had never heard it before, and that would have connected me with you straight away. You had the moment to also have a lot of humor. I was looking for the term, the Three Musketeers with the three dyslexics, and it never came. But that's part of the storytelling that you're adapting. The other moment that I was looking for improvement is for the word decide, because you have this prop, and be careful there because some judges may think that you're copying the runner-up from the Lost convention because she used prop, but you had that at the start and at the end, and then you swap it around and it's the word decide. I was waiting for you to just weave that word decide from start to finish, and that was missing for me. Having said that, I'll share more feedback with you. I love the physical stance. Be careful about putting your hand forward because when you put the hand here and showing the visual 5, I couldn't see your face because the eyes, wow, the eyes, the facial expression, the gestures, amazing. I felt you, I was with you throughout. Thank you so much for your message. I'll send you more in the form, but all the best, Kyle. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Matt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we do at this club. We do really good evaluations. Mr. Timer, can you tell us if the evaluators comply with the time?
Yes, obviously. Obviously. Wonderful evaluators. I put this in the chat box. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Matt, Vincent. Now, did you remember that at the beginning of the meeting, we have somebody talking about the word of the day? The grammarian, please come to the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster. The word of the day, motivate. It was used by yourself, Julian did it once. Jose did it twice, motivate, and once motivating. Kyle did it motivation and motivational, which I accept. And John used it once, motivated. It was okay in my estimate. And the grammar of the English language, it was, we have a lot of people from different spheres, different cultures, and of course, we all have problems of pronunciation in a way. So Topic Master, you said attention, and it's really attention. And Jose just did a one asker, which should have been ask. But these are things that happen with some people, and I don't want to put too much stress on it. And although at times I did have a little problem understanding some words that Jose said, but just one more. John, he said yep, and he should have said yes. So, and Olga did say walk, and it should have been work. But all in all, the English language was superbly used, very impressive, and well done, everyone. Toastmaster meeting.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Well, I promised you that we were going to do some voting. So, Mr. President and Zoom Master and Producer and all of these titles, can you launch the poll. Thank you very much. This is important for us. Please don't be ashamed to put a 1 star if you thought the show was bad. Because how are we going to improve if you don't tell us? Okay, how is it going? How's it going? Come on, come on.
Are you?
Thumbs up if you have vote. Thumbs up if you have vote. How likely is that you come back?
It's not going.
They're counting up all the stars, I think.
All right. Okay, fantastic. While you finish, let me introduce you to the general evaluator of the evening. Please put your hands together for Azra.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role as General Evaluator is to evaluate everything that went out in today's meeting. The room was open well before time, and Nick Lakhani was really welcoming to each and every one of us. I really liked the idea of him having plan B, because the presentation did not open, so he just opened the breakout room and we all went there. But I wish we could have seen the presentation, which we did not. In the breakout room, I really liked the idea of having the greeter and the way we interacted with each and everyone. We got to know who are with us in the meeting. We had more than 50 attendees when the meeting started on time. The housekeeping rules were shared brilliantly, and I really liked the request for the feedback which was made. What I would have loved to hear is a request not to use the chat during the speech. It may be sometimes disturbing to speakers seeing chat pop up. The agenda as well was sent at a later stage. I would have loved to see the agenda at the start in the chat. Now coming to the Toastmaster, Julian, what energy, what enthusiasm. I hope I can be like you when I'll be the Toastmaster of the day next time. The show must go on. You started with the theme itself and the way you introduced all the role players. Thank you for that. And you led the applause each and every time. What I liked the most is also the background, which was matching with the part which was going on, whether it was a speech, evaluation, or table topics. You followed the agenda very well. And then we have all the reporters, the role players who came and explained their role. The timer as well, thank you for the innovative approach with the use of fruits and vegetables. But the only issue I found here when one of our table topic was speaking, the color was still on tomato. The grammarian, thank you for using the slide and showing the word of the day, motivate. However, personally, I would have loved to have another word which is less commonly used. Table topic master, what an innovative way with all the questions you've had. I really enjoyed it, and you made me think what the questions were going to be. And the shotgun evaluation was done very well as well. You explained your role very well. Now coming to the part of evaluation, OG, I really like the structure you use. You stated the good points and then the recommendations. My only gift for you would be to address the audience as well. The audience as well is present, and I would have loved if you could address them in your evaluation. Brian, thank you for your evaluation. It was very to the point. The only recommendation for you would be when you said about difficulty in using certain English words, I would have loved if you would have given an example. Christian, your evaluation was to the point. My only recommendation would be eye contact. I felt from time to time your eye contact was going in different places. I would humbly request that you put your notes in front of you near to the camera. All in all, I really loved this session tonight, and I feel really motivated to come and attend each and every session. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Yeah, sometime we were all thinking, is Vincent going to mute or general evaluator? But no, she did very well. My time with you has come to an end. I hope you enjoyed this show as much as I did. Thank you very much to the crew at Digital Communicators for putting this show together. Back to you, Mr. President Nick Lacani.
Thank you very much, Julian, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you very much, all of the participants, speakers, evaluators, table topic speakers, shotgun evaluators, functionaries, everybody. Well done. Now, today I get to talk to a couple of guests. I just want your feedback. What's your one takeaway? Take 15, 20, 25 seconds. Doval, what's your one takeaway from today's meeting?
Well, I was fascinated that there were so many people from all around the world. Really, I enjoyed that. And listening to people who have other languages other than English as their native tongue. I thought the quality of speeches was amazing, and good luck to Kyle going forward. And also, I hadn't seen these shotgun evaluations. It really made me think so much more carefully when I was listening to everybody, how I would evaluate a speech if I had to do it, which I didn't. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Doval. Thank you. Olga, what's your biggest takeaway today?
I liked the breakout rooms and the way that everybody was welcomed. I think that you feel from the beginning very inside of this club, and yeah, that's in the end, Toastmasters is about creating a community, and this is a great way of creating a community. Thank you very much. For sure that I will come back.
Thank you, Olga. Thank you. John Williams, what's your takeaway today, John?
I think just the amount of different nationalities coming together in one place under, sort of one aim is to get better at speaking, and I think it's amazing just how many people from around the world have come together here tonight. So yeah, really good. Loved it.
Thank you very much, John. Ruxana, what's your takeaway today?
Oh, my takeaway is simply, you're not as good as you think you are, and you're not as bad as you think you are. There's always something to learn, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said, Ruxana. Thank you. One last one. Let's say from Antonia. Antonia, what's your one takeaway? Quickly.
I like the breakout room at the beginning. I thought that was a good initiative.
Thank you, Antonia. Now, I have one more minute. I'm going to tell you about chartering this club. We are about to charter. 1 month ago, we had no club. 2 weeks ago, we had no club. Yesterday and today, we got 22 members.
Yay!
We are going to charter.
Now,
already, a couple of people have already interested. They're going to. You can go to the membership room, which I'm going to open up right now. Talk to Ola. Talk to Ola. Talk to our team. Ask us if you're interested in joining. Talk to us. I'm going to open up breakout rooms. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms for our speakers, Pamela, Jose, and Kyle. You can move to your rooms, and anybody in the audience can go to any of those 4 rooms. So Pamela, Jose, Kyle, or the membership room. It's up to you. Or you can stay here and party with me. It's up to you. It's 7:45. We start on time. We finish on time. We have a quick fire meeting. We have fun, and we go on and have a networking event just now. 7:45, I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll see you Monday, February the 8th.